Hey guys, this is Max Headspace 9mm, and I just thought I'd do a little close-up review of my Noreen ULR. Now I'm not sure what ULR means. I'm guessing it means something like ultra long range. This is in 50 BMG, and it is a long range gun. I could go longer range if I had a better scope for it, but this one's actually 24 power. It's pretty good. About as good for anything I can do. Now the thing that makes this so good at what it does is it's heavy. It's one of the heaviest 50 BMGs with one of the longest barrels that you're likely to find. And the nice thing about a heavy gun, especially when you're talking about something as powerful as 50 BMG, is it doesn't transmit a lot of that rearward force into your body, which makes shooting a lot more pleasurable. I could easily take, on a Saturday afternoon, I could shoot about 10 rounds through this, and it's not painful. The worst part of it is the shock wave. The shock wave is something you can't do much about, and I think this muzzle brake has a lot to do with delivering that shock wave. But I'd rather have a shock wave than a massive jolt to my skeletal system. This is a pretty amazing brake. It does a really good job of taking some of that oomph out of the round. And you want a good brake on a 50 BMG because it's either painful or it is awesome. It's a really long barrel. Really long barrel. And you get, more velocity out of a longer barrel. There are a lot of 50 BMG rifles that are shorter barrel than this. But this one gets you the long range. You want the full velocity, you need a long barrel. It has its own bipod built in. And I think this thing is about 40 pounds. One of the beauties of a heavy barrel like this is the fact that the heat from shooting even multiple rounds one after the other does not disfigure that barrel. And your accuracy doesn't go down. So it's a bolt action. There's no magazine on it, it's a single shot. This is the bolt. And there's the scope. It has pretty cool dampening system for the very, very minimal buttstock. Very soft padding, thick, generous padding. You're basically putting your cheek right on a metal tube. But you know what? This does not feel even as bad as a shotgun, a 12 gauge. When I shoot this, I've shot Magnum slugs out of a 12 gauge before that felt way worse than this. So it's actually a pretty comfortable shooter. Now some people say, well, 50 BMG is just too expensive. Well, surprisingly, you could pick a rig like this up for not much more than an AR-15. I think this one cost me around $2,000. And man, it is like nothing else. And then people say, well, yeah, but the rounds are really expensive. Well, it depends on what you get. If you buy, Blazer brass or something like that, yeah, you're looking at probably $60, $70 a box of 10. That's expensive. But if you get military surplus ammo, you can get it a lot cheaper. In fact, you can get a whole can of ammo like this, about 150 rounds for $600 or $700. It starts to become kind of something you might want to think about when the rounds are about $350 a piece. But you think about it. I go through 10 rounds of this on a Saturday, and that's only about 30 to 40 bucks. I go through more than that in 308 or 223 or 9mm on a Saturday because I shoot a whole lot more rounds. So it's just a false economy. You got to think about the fact that you get a lot more out of shooting a lot less with something like this. So, little comparison for you here. Here's the 50 BMG round. right next to a 308, and that's right next to a 223. Now that is a 660 grain projectile traveling at the same speed as the 223. And that is really going some. Even the shock wave of being close to that passing by has been known to kill people or animals. And the destructification is devastating. I want to do some videos of destructification with this gun. If you guys can think of some things and put it in the comments what you'd like to see me destructify with this gun, why, I'll get to it. I don't know, I got some ideas of my own. But if you ever thought about a 50 BMG, it's looking pretty good right now, because the 50 BMG ammo is not that hard to find. You can still find it in a lot of places, whereas everything else is gone, because it's not really considered defensive. Anyway, I thought you might like to take a look and see this thing up close. It's a whole lot of fun, and it could be a whole lot of fun to make some videos destructifying things with this. So give me some ideas what you want me to destroy. Until then, this is Max Headspace 9mm. Have a good one.